Friday. It's X, the guy who runs Perspective Reports, and I want to say congratulations to Matthew Stafford on winning the 2025 regular season NFL MVP award. Well deserved. He had an incredible season, a true statistical anomaly, and stay tuned for my thoughts on that because this is part 2 of a video that we made yesterday or the day before, breaking down my problem with the NFL MVP award race, and I believe that the NFL finally got it right, and it hasn't for a little bit. So let's do it. So again, this is a part 2 to our last video where we spoke to my problem with the NFL MVP award, how it felt like we weren't sure what the narrative the NFL is trying to go for when it comes to the award. Is it just giving it to the best player on the best team? Is it just giving it to the best story? Or is it giving it to the player who actually had the most dominant statistical season, who took on everybody week in and week out, balled out, and really was one of them? What I said was that Matthew Stafford just put up incredible numbers. Not only did he lead the league in passing, he had like 4,700 passing yards, but he had 46 touchdown passes, which there are years where people like Aaron Rodgers won the MVP award with only 38 touchdown passes. 46 touchdown passes is not only incredible, but he had 12 more touchdown passes than the next up quarterback, Jared Goff, who had 34. So 12 more than anybody else. That is not only statistically significant, that is just an anomaly of a season, and again, highlights how dominant he was. And I was just so surprised that the Rams didn't even make it to the Super Bowl. That shows you how good the Seahawks are. Speaking of the Seahawks, since Smith and Jigba, honestly, what a fantastic season. We actually plugged it into Gemini, the stats of all of the NFL 2025 finalists, and it was a fantastic field of MVP finalists for the 2025 NFL regular season. Everybody from Josh Allen, Drake Maye, Christian McCaffrey, Trevor Lawrence had incredible the data of the finalists and the top quarterbacks into Google Gemini, and she literally told us Matthew Stafford had the best season, the most statistical anomalous season out of everybody. The point is, he had 12 more touchdown passes than the next player up, which was Jared Goff with 34 touchdown passes. So he truly was leading the #1 offense in the NFL, which the Rams were, to heights never seen. But Jackson Smith and Jigba had probably the second best season when it comes to an anomaly with stats. He just beat everybody else out except for Puka Nacua, who had 1,700 yards as well. But guess who was throwing to Puka Nacua? Matthew Stafford again. But my biggest thing is that I believe he should have been a finalist for the NFL MVP award, and honestly, I think he should have been runner-up to Matthew Stafford, even top 3 with Drake Maye in there. But again, I think Matthew Stafford well-deserved win, so just wanted to touch on that. Really, my whole point is, what is the purpose of the NFL MVP award, right? Sometimes it can feel like it's something that's a retroactive for the best story. Sometimes it feels like there are years where it's like you give it to a guy who actually did so much better the previous year, but you're making it up to him this year. And I think that was the story of the last 2 awards, especially, where I believe that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen were flipped. Lamar Jackson deserved the award last year because he literally put up 5,000 total yards as a quarterback in the NFL with 4,000 yards passing and 41 touchdown passes, right? We have an NFL MVP this year who had 46 touchdown passes. Lamar Jackson put up 41 last year, whereas Josh Allen, I believe, should have won it in 2023 when he not only put up so many passing yards, but he also had 15 rushing touchdowns, which is something not even Lamar Jackson has ever come close to, nor has any other rushing quarterback ever as well. So my point is, last 10 years of the award has been given out is kind of a problem, right? We spoke to how the last running back to even win it, the last non-quarterback really to win it was Adrian Peterson in 2012. The last defensive player to win it was Lawrence Taylor in 1986, which is insanity. So the fact that, you don't even get that much consideration of the breadth of the field is the issue, and that's why we were speaking to put respect on Jackson Smith and Jigba. The Seahawks literally going to the Super Bowl. He put up insane numbers in the NFC Championship game, literally, right, putting up hundreds of yards of catches and 10 catches. I mean, he is one of one. He deserves it, and he's stepped up on the biggest stages. I think there is a new path the NFL might have a chance to go on, which is actually awarding the award, the whole MVP award, which is the point, right, to the actual best performance in a season. Not just because, oh, the Ravens went 13-3 and Lamar Jackson led a team, right? Because if it's that's our baseline, then Patrick Mahomes should have been winning it for going 3 times on a road to the Super Bowl, right? It should have been Jalen Hurts at the very least leading his team to a dominant season, or Saquon Barkley should have been getting it last year, right? So my whole point is that I think the NFL is realizing that, and hopefully we'll see this in the next year, the 2026 season, which will be a great season. Regardless, congratulations to all the finalists and all the past NFL MVP awards. I'm not really that, cut deep. So again, my ranting aside, all I'm trying to say is that Matthew Stafford deserved it this year because he not only was statistically the best player, he was visibly the best player, and he was dominant week in and week out, and that's who deserves the NFL MVP award. And I think justice for Jackson Smith-Njigba, who should have been, again, in the top 3. And I just hope that going forward, the NFL tries to just take into consideration the true anomalies, right? The true statistical outliers. You could say the same for Myles Garrett. Look at the season he put up for sacks, right? He set the record. I mean, that is insanity. So I just want to point that out. That's my whole point of this video, that again, NFL MVP award, like anything else, is a work in progress. I understand that. Respect to the award winners, the finalists, everybody past and present deep about it. But it's just something I want to speak to because it's about data, and that's what we do here on Perspective Reports. We just talk about the world around you, strategizing it every step of the way. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. We have a lot of content coming. Going to speak to Winter Olympics. I'm doing the business of Latino music, highlighting Bad Bunny ahead of the Super Bowl halftime show. Just talking about the theme of strategy and how strategy is used to, take on our world. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and later. Peace.